Have you ever played Kingdom Rush, Orcs Must Die, and maybe a little bit of Pokemon? Well, what if I told you that there is a game that blends all three of these into one? Bean Beast is kind of that game. It's a unique 2D tower defense game combining strategic placement involving creatures, traps, and powerful abilities to create an experience that feels both familiar and fresh at the same time. So today I want to take a look at Bean Beast and see what makes it stand out and why it might just be a great tower defense game to keep your eye on. So what exactly is Bean Beast, you might be asking? Well, think of it as a mix between the trap-based and pathfinding action of Orcs Must Die and the upgrade style of Kingdom Rush with a little bit twist of the evolution mechanics like Pokemon. So it's kind of a mix of a lot of different things. Bean Beast are the core units of your defense. These creatures start off relatively weak, but as the level progresses and you get some coin and they take out enemies, they will evolve into much stronger versions of themselves and unlock a new ability. Each beast has 3 evolution stages, and as they evolve, they not only gain higher stats, but they also have unique abilities that change how they play. Like for example, you might start off with a frog beast that does pretty little damage and really doesn't do that much, but it starts as a tadpole, and then once it evolves, it becomes into a actual frog, and it'll unlock ability with its tongue to like pull enemies in. There's also a beast that is like a cactus that has an ability. It shoots out like a flower or something, but it just shoots out a bunch of projectiles and just destroys enemies. Now, if you ever played Orcs Must Die, you already know how satisfying placing an assortment of traps and watching it work can be, and Bean Beast is no different. It's very similar in this department with similar mechanics as Orcs Must Die. This game features a variety of deadly traps pretty similar to Orcs Must Die. They got spike traps, crossbows, cannons, mud pits, flipper traps, and a lot more. These traps let you control enemy movement and set up brutal combos. You can use boxes to block path, you could slow enemies with mud pits, use a flipper trap to fling enemies into holes, or watch them get launched into a row of crossbows and cannons. One of the mechanics that is in this game that is also in Orcs Must Die, and I think more games in this genre should have, is path manipulation. You can use barricades to block paths and redirect enemy movement, forcing them to go to the areas that you have filled with traps and make sure the enemies go the way that you want them to. But don't think you don't ever have to worry, and don't get complacent, because some of the enemies in this game are smart enough to counter this. In fact, I didn't know that they were in this game, or at least in the level that I was playing, so I didn't really bother protecting my boxes, and some what looked like rhinoceroses with some axes, they just decided to run out and just start smashing all my boxes, and I lost because I wasn't prepared for it. So be prepared is what I'm saying. Be prepared.
Prepared. This lesson must be shared. This lesson must be shared. To be prepared. To be prepared. To be prepared.
I don't know why I put that clip in, but that's the first thing that popped in my head, and I could not put it in the video, so I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just gonna keep it there. That's why it's in there. But you'll just have to think ahead and protect your barricade. So don't just place boxes and think everything's gonna be okay, because it's not. It's not gonna be okay. Now, all I played of this game was the demo, so I can't say everything about the final version of the game or anything, but I can only imagine that it would get better, so I can't imagine a game would get worse from the demo. So with that said, this game seems to be very polished. I mean, every aspect of it seems to be polished. Everything that breaks has an effect. All the UI has effects. The things glow. They have everything has like an animation. I don't know. It just seems like everything was polished. I don't know how else to describe it, but nothing felt out of place or wrong. After thinking about it a little bit more, I think the reason it feels so polished and so satisfying in this game is because everything kind of has a reaction in this game. So everything that you do has some sort of reaction, has some sort of effect, which just makes it seem more satisfying in every way possible. And one thing that I think this game just nails is UI design and game feel. The interface is clean, intuitive, and responsive, making it easy to navigate and manage your beasts, traps, and abilities without feeling overwhelmed. And honestly, that's something a lot of games, especially bigger games nowadays, somehow seem to struggle with. They always have clunky menus, confusing layouts, or just a general lack of polish, which even my favorite game, Hunt Showdown, struggles with its menu. I mean, that menu in Hunt Showdown is so trash. It's so terrible. And every time I think about bad UIs, I think of my favorite game, which kind of sucks. And then there's the game feel, the game juice, from crisp sound effects to satisfying animations, flashes on the health bars, flashes on the UI. Everything that you do, every action, it's satisfying. You get visual feedback, you get audio feedback, and it just makes it much more satisfying and fun to play the game. And the UI has some satisfying click sounds. I don't know what it is about them click sounds, but they're pretty satisfying. I don't have much to say about this game's graphics, but I do want to point out that this game is very bright and colorful most of the time. I mean, there are some dark areas and some dark colors and stuff to this game, but it's mostly bright and colorful, and the pixel art just looks fantastic, and I just thought it looked really good, and I just wanted to comment about it because I don't say that about every game, especially 2D games. I usually don't comment on the graphics, but this game just looks very good. At the end of the day, Bean Beast just feels very fun and polished. If you like games like Kingdom Rush, Orcs Must Die, or Bloons Tower Defense, then you'll most likely like this game too. This is also usually the part where I would say, is the game worth the price? But I can't do that here, obviously, because this is only a demo that I played. But I did think it was good, so it's definitely worth installing the demo if you want to check it out and you like these types of games. You can go on the Steam page and download the demo for free. But this is definitely a game I'm going to keep my eye on and see when it releases and how much the game might cost, and probably check it out again and make a full video on the full game. Hopefully. I'm not sure exactly when it will come out. It says summer 2025. And other than Bloons Tower Defense, I think this is already like my favorite 2D tower defense game. I mean, I really like Bloons Tower Defense, so I gotta say Bloons Tower Defense is definitely number one. Now, I know this video is gonna seem probably a bit weird because I didn't say much negative about this game, and that's because honestly I didn't find much negative about this game. I mean, I tried and I looked, and you could probably point out things, but anything that I found was so minor it really wasn't even worth talking about. So on that note, that is going to be the end of this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment below, tell me what you think about this game and this video, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because you want to be subscribed, and I'll see you next time.